Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be reviewing a game by Doaenel on Hecarim, and we're going to be seeing what just makes him an NA Challenger jungler on the champion. Despite the champion having pretty mediocre win rates overall, outside of OTPs. So yeah, if we touch on the laners real quick, yeah, I don't know. Mid lane looks really boring. It's just AFK pushes here, I guess. And then they have like a Soraka that can kind of help the Kindred. Just roam around and help her. Bot lane, enemy bot lane is in the same prio, but we have like decent scaling, but I don't know. It seems like they are drafted us there a little bit, perhaps. Though, team comp wise, I would say that we are better as long as enemy doesn't snowball. So, we should be doing okay. So let's see how he goes about this. He did go blue pet, which is what I prefer at the moment as well. Pretty cool. Also top lane, Sion, Lee Sin, like, I don't know. Just Sion things, I guess. Like, I don't know. You have a Sion in your game, either he goes 0-10 or he doesn't go 0-10. There is no in between. Okay. So... okay. I guess we're doing skin reviews today. Fair enough. Fair enough. A lot of junglers do greed for that ward in the river, and oftentimes if you have some really strong level 1 champion, like Sion is really strong level 1, as long as the enemy comes into you, then you can actually mess them up. And this is a really good adaptation, because enemy jungler is dead, so taking the enemy raptors is pretty much free. Like, who's going to contest you? No one. But you shouldn't greed here and go for a second camp. Like, if you go for a second camp, your clear will be kind of stunted, and the enemy will actually show up there. And then you're gonna end up in a fight. I mean, you are level 2 against level 1, but you're still gonna get forced out of their jungle, and when you get forced out of their jungle, you're like off tempo, and it's just bad for no reason. So I quite like this. He is probably gonna look for like these 3 blue side camps, and then we can make our first decision. We don't really have a decision until then. So even if he doesn't F-key 2 lanes, like, it doesn't really matter too much, because we don't care too much. Like, all we care about right now is maybe how much HP they have and if anyone uses a flash or something. Anything else is just extra info, kinda, low-key. He actually got level 3 off the Gromp. Oh, that's fair enough. Okay, then F-keying was better than I thought, actually. Oh yeah, I forgot. Because I keep thinking that it's like same as... I don't know, man. I got confused somehow. This is really good. So he saw that Kindred didn't cross the map, so he knows that she's going to be here. And this is just a free kill. But notice how he just holds his E so that he can actually use it when he needs it, you know? Like, if he needs it for extra damage with Qs, or if he needs it to chase, or in this scenario where he wants to use it to make sure they're both in the same side of the blast cones, so he can't get juked. Very good. This is a stark contrast to Nice, who would use his E only in one combo. Like, Nice there would play it by pressing E, then running at the Kindred, pressing WQ, and like Eing into her, and hoping that it's enough damage to kill her. So we've been seeing some decent stuff at the moment. But let's see what happens now. So right now is kind of a decision point. Like, do you start at Raptors? Do you start at Krugs? Do you go bot lane? And I don't think that his decision was optimal at all. Because I think walking through Krugs is just by far most optimal. Because you prevent basically every play that the enemy jungler has. But he gets rewarded anyway, so it's fine. Well, the reason that it's the most rewarding is because if you start Raptors, like, okay, like what do you really prevent? You prevent Kindred from just going straight to your Raptors, but who cares if she goes straight to your Raptors? Like, no one really cares. This should be fine. But if she goes to your Krugs, then she can just take your Krugs. If she goes bot lane, she can maybe dive your bot lane, and so on. So the other plays are just more threatening. But other than that, I don't dislike anything at the moment. Level 5 against level 3, so taking the enemy camps is pretty free. If they contest, then we will mess them up. Not sure about this though. This does not look that good, but okay. Works out, I guess. Pretty good Azir dash and stuff. And then we Kindred commits, so works out. Lovely. The funny thing is, this isn't even a VOD. Like, I'm just in his stream reviewing a game. And the first game I get is 5. Sorry, one sec. And the first game I get is 5 kills at 5 minutes. That's kind of insane, honestly. Holy. So, I mean, this will be a pretty good VOD to see how he converts this to a window. Since he should solo carry now himself. This is fair enough. He's trying to get level 6 at the moment, so that's his thought process. And now that he has level 6, the question is what is he gonna do now? He could just full clear, or he could look for a play. I think looking for a play would be better. Especially since enemy is looking for a play. So yeah. I don't mind doing red buff while we're looking if Kindred crosses though, because that way if nothing happens then at least we have a consistent plan in doing red buff. But yeah, this should be pretty free to do a full clear now at this point. You could also prioritize Dragon, but like the issue with prioritizing Dragon in situations like these is that you're kind of giving away too much. Like you might as well just cash in the lead. Like you're sitting on a lottery ticket that's winning and you know it's winning, but you're just waiting for like inflation adjustment, I don't know, and hoping your lottery ticket doesn't expire. Why would you do that when you can just cash it in? So yeah, he's cashing that in. Needs blue buff for mana. Cool. And he hasn't seen Kindred on her Raptors, which means that possibly he can just look for a play on her red side jungle. Despite his top laner not being in lane, they have like a Soraka, so yeah. He's also pretty strong and he has Ghost, so could be doable. Probably gonna go for Scuttle and Herald though first. If he does choose to do anything, as he doesn't have ult. So yeah, Herald, Scuttle, and then probably just looks to either dive top or to take her red side. Indeed, he is doing so. Okay. Pretty cool. But not quite the dive. Doesn't quite look like the dive, but sure. Takes so much damage without dying. Crazy. I think he mistimed his Z a bit. I think he lost that because he mistimed his Z. That's really unfortunate. It's kind of a coin flip play though, to be honest. Kind of a limit tester. No real reason to hard force like that, but sure. I mean, I think it would work if he timed to Z, right? But I'm pretty sure his E damage went straight into Kindred ult. But yeah, this was pretty bad, let's say. You don't want to make stuff like this happen, because if you're like 6-0 and you do stuff like this, you can sometimes throw the game when it's a complete free win, which is not the best. I mean, we can say we did it for content. He's a funny guy after all, so. Okay. Yeah, I mean, with the death and whatever, we're kind of off tempo, and also we prioritize Krugs, which makes us even more off tempo, and then we're kind of like on the side of the map, and we don't really impact the map, even though we have 6 kills at 10 minutes, right? Though to be fair, we do not have ult or ghost. But yeah, this is for sure bad. We just have to hope that we live now. That our bot lane doesn't die and stuff, but pretty sure they're gonna die. It's probably our best case scenario as well, because only one of us died. So good enough. Honestly, I think a better way to approach it would have been to, first of all, at least think about contesting Dragon, but if he thought about it and he thought that it's not possible, which is also fair enough assessment of the situation, that's also fair enough. But after that, I would want to have a plan, because as far as I know, Hecarim's ult is much lower cooldown than Kindred's, because I think Kindred's ult is 3 minutes, rank 1. So because she used the top lane and we used our ult, we can pretty much time her ult, and we can just make sure that we just make a play when her ult is down, since her lanes are too weak and she's also too weak to really combat it. I think that's what I would want to play for. Not much to be done here. Base seems fine. But you can see how it's a bit awkward right now, because he made like one error where the play was not really necessary and was kind of meh, and then he made like a small tempo / map positioning issue for himself, I guess, and that ends up in him permanently being in awkward spots. Like, again, it's really awkward, because the enemy is going to take the camps, and by the time that his camps are down, he's gonna have nothing to take from the enemy or to fight for. And his ult is going to be up when there's nothing to do. Like, what, are you gonna contest enemy red buff only? I mean, worst case scenario, they just give you the red buff. It's not so bad for the enemy. So the timing of when his plays are available and when he's actually on the map is a bit awkward. So now we're forced to clear this, then we're forced to clear Gromp. Then we're probably going to be forced to clear Raptors, I don't know. I mean, you can try. I mean, that guy's actually kind of underfed, so I guess maybe you can do it. He's pretty underfed. I thought that Lee Sin was stronger. And he's also like pushing solo. What? Oh, okay. I guess Lee Sin is just griefing a bit. Well, in a normal world, the Lee Sin would be one stronger because he's playing fucking Lee Sin. And secondly, he would also have a Kindred behind him, but yeah. This ends up being pretty good for him though. Like, this is pretty much amazing for him. Because if he didn't get top lane kill and whatever, and Kindred was actually top side and he doesn't get stuff, then the game becomes awkward still. But since Kindred decided to go bot lane, like, and die, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, since he got a free kill top lane and he got a wave and then he got to take enemy jungle camps as well, now he's in a pretty good spot. So now the really good thing is that he can get a base off and he can get his item before Kindred is on the map, which he's doing. And after getting this item, right, and getting like his next component or whatever, he will be able to just run topside, which is the only place that Kindred can play, and he can just run them over. It would be really good if he knows if Kindred has ult as well. It would be amazing. I didn't quite catch it in the chat. I caught he doesn't have flash apparently. But honestly, he can probably just fight anyway. He's power spiked. Oh, little Hecarim mechanic. Can eat through that wall at that distance. That's crazy. Pretty cool. This is a good position to be in though. Like, this is what I mean. It shows you really well how being on or off tempo and having your things like ult or summoners or teammates be available at times when you can actually do stuff, it really impacts your strength in the game and how much you're able to do. I would prefer a pink over the magic resist, but sure. Sure. No problem. And they FF'd. But yeah, I think that this game showcased really well how him, despite being really fed, having zero impact for some part of the game, because he got himself off the timings of the enemy. So the enemy actually got to sneak away their camps, they got to like do all of their stuff while he's doing his stuff. And then when he's actually ready to play, then enemy doesn't actually have to play. And this is a position you're going to see a lot, where the enemy doesn't actually have to play against you when you're actually strong, because you're not in a position to force them. And that's why it's important to play around their camps or neutrals or whatever, right? Or lanes that need to be won. And that way you can actually abuse your lead. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, then like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.